Last night around midnight, which is technically morning but there's no daylight, Joji dropped his third studio album, Smithereens. Broken into 2 volumes with 9 tracks in total, I'm really happy to say that this album was incredible. In terms of sound, it was probably my favorite project from him. Perfecting his newer style with the first volume and paying homage to his older style with the second half, this project can appease to both his newer and older fan base. Choosing the very short track lengths allowed for songs to feel more savory and flavorful. Furthermore, Joji allowed himself to stay within his comfort zone with, instead of trying new things, perfecting what he was already good at, which is solemn melodies, lo-fi beats, and harmonic singing. Now keep in mind I haven't listened to anyone's opinions on this album yet, so again these thoughts of mine are going to be raw and unfiltered. Right off the bat with the first volume, we're introduced with the single A Glimpse of Us. Easily Joji's most lyrically touching song, it's clear that his writing has definitely improved since his prior days. In fact, for most of the project, the lyrics revolve around dealing with heartbreak. While some may be shrugging at this concept, mainly because the subject matter for his work is always the same, the melodies and wording on this track have again increased by a large margin. After Glimpse, we quickly approach feeling like the end, reminiscent of something off of Nectar. We immediately hear an upbeat guitar tune accompanied by the trademark hi-hats and 808s. The juxtaposition of a hopeful tune mixed with regretful lyrics adds a sweet and sort of sour flavor to this track. And while short, the deep dive into Die For You is what made Volume 1 so surreal for me. All of Volume 1 sounds as if we were submerged underwater, drifting away to these soul-ascending songs that so easily managed to seep its way into our hearts. Dare I even use the word psychedelic? Volume 1 was soaked in butter and wrapped for us in silver packaging, clearly beaming with the amount of time and effort put in, making sure that every song hit. If this album were just Volume 1 by itself, it would easily, and as subjective as this is, be better than In Tongues. In my opinion. Don't get me wrong though, In Tongues is a classic. After the first volume, we head into the second one, shorter than the first, and like I said earlier, more faithful to his older style. Someone needs to make a mashup of Come Through and Night Rider, by the way. They're so similar to me. In terms of sound. While I'm not too much of a fan for the second volume, 1AM Freestyle is probably one of, if not my favorite songs off this album. In my opinion, it should have been switched with Feeling Like the End to stay more consistent to both sides. This doesn't mean Volume 2 is bad either. I think it does what it sets out to do, which I truthfully have no idea what that is. But the feeling here is way more darker than the first volume, and I guess you could say catchy as well. Kinda like I was pointing out with the second song on this album, the majority, or I think all of Volume 1, has the same hi-hat formula, the 808 bass in the background, and these kind of weird but oftentimes very crystal-like and beautiful melodies played throughout. Overall, Smithereens was phenomenal, and if not for the new Drake album I have to finish, I'd be listening to this project over and over again all day. I'm feeling a solid 8 out of 10. If you like this album, you should definitely listen to Fantasy Gateway by Kuko and Duality by Luna Lee. I'll leave those two in the comments or in the description for you guys to check out, because those two are also phenomenal albums that kind of have like this beautiful similar vibe to Smithereens. But yeah, that's about it. Bye bye.